I'm Shelley Doty. I'm Gifted and Talented Coordinator for Hardin County Schools. Today we're excited to invite the Louisville Ballet to share with our students in grades 3, 4, 5 in the elementary session, and then middle and high in the afternoon session. This morning we have 33 students, and this afternoon we have a full house, 50 students are coming. To be identified for gifted services in the state of Kentucky, you can be identified in dance, the arts, a lot of areas other than just academics. So we found that we have a lot of students who have a lot of interest in these areas, but they don't have a lot of opportunity. And that's where these workshops come into play. For example, this morning I saw one of the little girls ask one of the presenters, "Why do you wear those shoes?" And she chose to come to this event. She's interested in learning about it, but she doesn't even know what ballet shoes look like. So we're hopeful that by providing these opportunities, the students will just gain more interest and possibly even further their possibilities for, what they could do in the future, be a part of the Louisville Ballet or even in our own district. We have so many students that are creative in many, many ways, that are gifted in many ways, not just academically. And we're very fortunate in this district that we have this fantastic facility where we can bring students here, and we're very fortunate that we had presenters like the Louisville Ballet who are willing to come to us. As you know, it's really difficult now to get enough busing and time that it takes to go visit these places. So we're just really excited that we can bring these opportunities to our students.
I am Amy Haley. I graduated high school right here at John Hardin and have performed many times here at the Performing Arts Center. I have danced here in Hardin County. I grew up dancing here and performed on the PAC stage with many of the Pro-Am productions. And after college at University of Kentucky, I actually now am at Louisville Ballet, working in our community engagement department, and get to travel around and do workshops in lots of different places. And luckily today it brought me back home to do a workshop right here at John Hardin at the PAC. It's been a lot of fun. The kids here are really willing to learn and really excited and enthusiastic. We have some kids here that are dancers and we're really ready for dance. And we have some kids, I think, that have never danced before. And that's the fun part of our job, is that we get to share our excitement and our love for dance with those that both already love it, as well as with those that have never tried it out before. So we get to share it with everyone, and it's really cool to do that in a space that's familiar to me. We're the Community Engagement Department at Louisville Ballet, and our main goal is to create access to various groups, as many as we can, throughout the Louisville area and the greater area surrounding. We would love to get as far through Kentucky as possible. Right now we serve a lot of Jefferson County and a few surrounding counties. We do dance workshops. We teach before and after school dance classes, ballet classes. We do residencies. We also have a touring program called Moving Stories that we take to schools as an in-school residency, or an assembly performance, so that we actually take like a field trip to the schools. We also facilitate the student matinees for the Brown Foreman Nutcracker, which is a big piece of our job as well. So anything that we can bring ballet to people or bring people to ballet, that is a big piece of what we do. We don't do the tickets for their main shows, but anything that's kind of outside of that, or bringing dance access to others. We also have a program called Ballet Bound, which is a scholarship type program where we audition kids where they can earn a year of free tuition-free dance classes at Louisville Ballet at our downtown studios. And then after that year, we evaluate them and have about 5 continuing scholarships where they can be eligible for all the way through high school to continue their training completely tuition-free, uniform charges, audition fees, everything covered, and with the intention of creating access for our students through the professional dance career. Ballet for me helped create, I love structure, and ballet definitely comes with that. That is something that's part of who I am, the routine, the structure, the expectations. I did not become a professional dancer, but I took those skills with me all the way through, and still use them every day. Even when I wasn't working at a ballet company, I have had other jobs between college and where I am now, and those skills still apply. So those students that take dance or other art forms growing up through high school, whether or not you choose to take that into a professional career as a performer or artist, or in the administrative side or something else. Those skills are always they become part of who you are, and then that's just all that translates into you being somebody that can work as a team, if you can perform well with others on stage, or if you can have a creative mindset as an artist, then you can be a creative person in your everyday life. So it all translates in one way or another. I usually say that dance was the first thing I fell in love with. When I was 6, I started dancing, and I'm still dancing 30 years later, and I still love it. Dance for me is something that still brings me challenges every day. It's still very challenging, but it's something that there are achievable goals as I go through. So there's something like for myself when I take class, and I do still take class when I can, there are things that I can achieve as I go throughout the class, and I can see myself improving, and goals that I can work towards, which is a big part of feeling like I'm succeeding in something that I enjoy. It's also something that, as I've grown to love it and love sharing it with others, that even though I'm at work, it's something that is, while days are sometimes hard, it's still something that is enjoyable to share with others. So it makes the work day, while it is sometimes still hard, it does make it more enjoyable to realize that I still get to go to work and dance. I used to think that I only wanted to teach older kids. When I first started teaching, and I started really teaching in high school, kind of assistant teaching in the ballet classroom. I used to think I only wanted to work with older kids because they knew what they wanted to be dancers, and they took it seriously, and that's what I thought mattered. And so whenever I started teaching on my own in a studio, I was like, I don't want to teach those little kids. I didn't think it was fun. And so I actually worked at a different school in Lexington, and they told me that they needed me to teach a creative movement class for 3-year-olds. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And they said, yes, you are. You have to do that. And I tried it, and it felt awful at first. And then I realized we were just playing games and being goofy, and it was more fun than like the regular classes that I was teaching with the older kids. And it became a lot more enjoyable because then it was playtime versus like work time. And so I've learned to appreciate all the different ages. I think that they all bring different things to the table. We work a lot with younger kids on our day-to-day basis. We primarily are with a lot of preschool to kindergarten and elementary would be our main bread and butter with our community engagement programs. But I still love working with the older kids because they pick things up quickly, and those that are ready to learn, they're really ready to go, and they sometimes don't mess around. But the younger ones, they're not afraid to mess up, but they're not afraid to be a fool and play around, and that's also fun too. So today our goals were to introduce them to some dance basics overall. Again, some of the kids have never danced before, so what is dance? What can dance be? The expectations of what ballet is or what ballet is supposed to be is not necessarily what Louisville Ballet is, and we try to kind of break some of those expectations. So we also showed them a video of some of what our company has been working toward in the last few years, as well as some of our upcoming performances of things that they could expect to see. And we really, want to introduce them to what ballet could be, that it doesn't have to be something that is old and kind of stuffy or rigid or any of those things, that it can be fun and fluid and accessible is kind of our key word for our department. But then we also, we were doing some ballet basics so that everyone could have a chance to kind of see what that felt like. We moved around the space, we played some games, learned some choreography from a ballet, Raymonda, and it's nice to kind of do a little bit of sampling of like all the different pieces that we do on our work day every day, and then kind of introduce the kids to that, as well as then they get to learn a little bit about the different careers in the dance art form as well.
Harder on the right now. Harder on the left now. Hands on this. Go. Straight. Elevate. Down. Turn away.
My name is Stacy Blakeman. I am currently the Director of Community Engagement at Louisville Ballet. I actually grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. Went to college at University of Louisville and then decided I needed to run away. And I ran far away, and I went to the East Coast for a year in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I was exploring the thought of being a classroom teacher. I danced growing up. I was, a competition dancer, danced with the local studio in Louisville, and then decided, I was going to leave that behind after teaching for a few years and try to be a classroom teacher. Then I decided I didn't want to be a classroom teacher after substitute teaching for a year. And I still wanted to teach dance. It was something that I still wanted to do. I couldn't leave it behind. It was just a part of me. And then I left the East Coast and I went to the West Coast, and I lived in California. And I met some people who worked at San Francisco Ballet, and then I had a person who took a chance on me there and hired me in their education department at San Francisco Ballet. So I got to learn about being a teaching artist, and teaching in public schools, and it sort of blended my first thoughts of wanting to be a classroom teacher with my love for dance. So it really was a great fit for me, and I had a great mentor there at San Francisco Ballet who taught me everything I needed to know about working in public schools and working in community and teaching dance. And then I ended up going to grad school while I was out there and got a master's in education. Ended up moving back to Louisville about 9 years ago. My parents were aging, and the Bay Area is really expensive. So I came back to Kentucky and met with folks at Louisville Ballet, and I've been doing the work there for the past 9 years and bringing a lot of my experience at San Francisco Ballet to Louisville Ballet and helping sort of shape their community engagement programs. Our goal in our community engagement work at Louisville Ballet is to let people know that dance is for everybody. No matter who you are, where you come from, dance is for you. And you might have dance in your life in a different way, but dance really is for everybody, whether or not you want to be a person in the audience, whether or not you want to be a performer, or whether or not you just want to dance for exercise, or whether you just want to dance in your room when no one's watching, right? I mean, dance is for everybody. It really is so good for your soul in so many different ways. So I love really helping people figure that out. And those are, I'm thinking like, fifth grade boys who walk into a classroom with their arms crossed and they're like, you're here from the ballet? I'm not doing ballet. So that's my job, to sort of let them know that actually it is for you. There is a way for you to find your place. And so I love that challenge. That's a challenge for me, and I used to be really scared of it when I first started, but I think just doing it for so many years, I really have found my way to sort of embrace that. And then, today, like all of these kids who wanted to be here, that's joy in a different way for me, for working with kids who love it and don't say a word and listen to everything you say. So I enjoy both ends of the spectrum, and I'm happy to do any part of it. I really just, want to help them sort of find their way in dance. Like Amy said, some of them had never tried it before, and we wanted to make it a safe space for them to try it, not get laughed at, if they made a mistake. And that's something we really try to teach all of our students, that mistakes are okay. And then the kids who, have experience with dance, we wanted to sort of give them the big picture about Louisville Ballet and sort of what is Louisville Ballet and how they could possibly get to achieve their dreams if being a professional dancer is something that they're striving for. Ballet is a Eurocentric art form that's been around and was for the rich white folks. And we're working hard to keep the momentum going to change that. Really dance is for everybody. And that's sort of my mission. Everybody at the ballet is on board with, having that as part of our overall mission. But the community engagement team, we're out in the community really doing that work to sort of make that difference and change people's minds, to let them know, yes, it is for everybody. And that's how you start to change people's minds. A kid takes a workshop at a school where they're like, oh, actually, I got to try out some ballet moves and they were kind of cool, and I saw some videos and there were people who looked like me dancing on that stage. So representation matters too, and that is a huge part of our Ballet Bound program. So that's where we find kids in the community get them into our community program, which is tuition free on scholarship. They study for 1 year, and then they have opportunities to continue at Louisville Ballet School until they graduate high school. And we are seeing, a huge impact on the enrollment at our Louisville Ballet School with our students who've come from the Ballet Bound program. And, our goal is that they're going to be on the stage with Louisville Ballet, and more people are going to see more people that look like them dancing. And we're excited about that. Dance has so many benefits. There are cognitive and intellectual benefits that go with studying dance. And that's not just for like professionals, that's just dance education programs that start, with preschoolers through elementary, through middle and high. There are so many benefits. There's brain science behind it. People who move, live longer. It fights dementia. It fights Alzheimer's disease. There are just so many cognitive benefits to moving. There are the physical benefits as well. The exercise, keeping your heart rate up, cardio, so good, healthy heart. And then, social emotional. We learned this big time during the pandemic. Students were hit really hard with their, social emotional learning. And dance is great for that. It's good for team building, it's cooperative, getting people to work together, and just building students' confidence, getting people out of a screen. People live in a screen. We want people out, moving their bodies, and just experiencing the world without their face in a screen. I think the biggest thing for me is I try to make it fun, right? I try to be as engaging as possible. Like, I work really hard to keep the kids' attention. I want them to learn, but I also have to, have high expectations for them, but also keep the learning fun. And that's something that's really important. And to show them how, there are so many other things involved in a dance curriculum. Like, we're using math, we're learning history, we're doing all these things. It all, arts integration, it all kind of works together. And I think, that's something cool that, I studied in my master's degree as well, is teaching different concepts through movement. So we're getting kids up out of their desk to learn different things, and we move through the curriculum with our bodies. And getting kids to learn in that way. There's differentiated instruction because people learn in different ways. Some people are visual learners, some people are audio learners, some people are kinesthetic learners. So trying to tap into all those different ways of learning in our movement class, we try to do that too, so that we're really hitting all the different styles of learning in the class so that kids stay engaged. That's part of creating access. My parents didn't have a lot of money growing up, and that sort of drives a lot of what I do today, because I know I was one of those kids who had to do everything I could to get to dance class. I had to clean the studios. I had to be an assistant teacher so that I could get a discount on my tuition. And then I still didn't get to do everything because my family couldn't afford it. So that's part of what drives me personally to do the work I do, because there are so many kids out there, and I was lucky that my parents could even do that for me. There are kids out there whose parents can't afford to do anything. And that's why this work is important, because everybody deserves a chance to even try, because you don't even know if it's something that you want to do unless you have the opportunity to try. So that's part of what we do. That's what we're doing with Ballet Bound too. It's like kids who can't afford it never thought they could even step foot through the door at Louisville Ballet School. Now they have a place there, and we can support them.
4th grade at GC Burkhead Elementary, and I've been going to center stage since I was about 2 years old, and I've done a lot of performances. I have taken ballet, tap, and jazz. At the moment, I'm doing ballet, tap, jazz, ballet, tap, and hip hop. My favorite dance type would be tap, because I think tap is a little challenging, and I love finding challenges and things. So when there aren't challenges, I always get mad. I like getting to perform, and also I have stage fright, and so when I go on stage, it kind of helps me a little bit with my stage fright. Our GT teacher, Miss Doty, gave us a little worksheet that said Louisville Ballet Workshop, and I actually went to this last year, and I had a lot of fun, so I was like, hey, I want to go here again because it was so much fun. I really enjoyed getting to do the fun warm-ups and getting to do the ballet dance. I think Louisville Ballet is really cool, and I'm really hoping that I get picked to do someone in Nutcracker, because I really like dancing, and the Nutcracker just seems super exciting. I think the Louisville Ballet is just really cool, and I'd like to be a part of it sometime. I do like dancing and singing, and I think that when I dance and there's music, and I think the lyrics in my head, it always helps me sing things better. Dance is important to me because I've been doing it for a long time, and so it's been a part of my life a long time, and it's kind of a part of my heart.
My name is Mackenzie. I'm in the 4th grade. I go to GC Burkhead Elementary School. I do ballet. I've pretty much done it my whole life. I did do tap a few years ago, and then I did tumbling in my youth when I was a bit younger. It was a bit different from what I do at the dance center, but it's also a bit more fun. It's a bit different than ballet. At the workshop, what was difficult for me was probably maybe getting used to a bit not as much as the ballet, and that was a bit challenging for me. And then I enjoyed at the workshop maybe doing a bit more ballet and seeing what more people who are different with their ballets and maybe don't do ballet but do other things like gymnastics. That helps me understand different ways to prompt myself. My favorite part of the workshop would probably be the warm-ups. They were loose, you could feel free, they were pretty much everything you could be. The ballet is special to me. It makes me feel good because I get to feel free on stage, but I'm doing ballet. It makes me feel like myself in front of a crowd.
My name is Gabby Butler. I'm a senior at Central Hardin. I've done a few dance workshops through UK, actually at the PAC, but this was something different, and it was really fun. And I think everyone had a great time, and it was a great learning experience too, so that's always good. Well, I took 1 year of ballet when I was little, and quit and didn't really like it. But then most recently, I think this past year, I started taking a combo class through Studio 111, and it's tap, jazz, and ballet. And it's really nice, and it got me actually starting to like ballet, so that's good. I wouldn't say I'm a dancer first, I would definitely say I'm an actor first, so I think I wasn't the best one there, but I don't think I did too bad. We're all kind of there for the same reason, we want to learn more skills to do dance and stuff because we like it, so I think just getting to hang out with everybody and learn some dance stuff.
I'm Harper Taylor. I'm in the 10th grade at John Hardin, and I dance with the Dance Center of Elizabethtown and with ballet, jazz, modern, and tap. Between dance styles, I love tap and I love modern. Ballet is also, I've been doing it since I was 3, so it has a special place in my heart. But I think of them all, I think I prefer tap the most, just because it's most like, you just get to do what you want. The workshop was through our GT program, our Gifted and Talented program. So it was an email that was sent out to all aspiring dancers in Hardin County. And so it was really interesting to receive that sort of like open call towards it. Just being able to dance with the Louisville Ballet was one of the reasons I decided to attend. And just because it was such a fun experience to be able to come together with Hardin County dancers and be able to learn new things. I most enjoyed, I think, the moving with the music at the beginning, because it was a lot of just improv and being able to do what your body told you to do. And I also really enjoyed the ballet choreography section because it was like a known piece, but it was simplified so that like anyone could do it. And so it was just the experience of being like, hey, I'm dancing to Swan Lake, but you could do it without breaking a sweat. Dance is a very important part of my life, I think, because it teaches me how to just feel comfortable in my body and being able to just find myself in movement. And I've been dancing for 12 years, and it's always been something that I've been able to look forward to at the end of the day, just to be able to unwind after a day of school. Attending this workshop, it really helped with showing me like the other careers that are in the arts that aren't necessarily being on stage and being a dancer, but like community outreach, like organizations like this that you are able to go to schools and teach like kids how to dance. And it was also just learning about the other jobs that are necessary to make it come to life. The arts are important to me because it's been such a pivotal part of my life since I was young. My parents have been involved with it and they've put me into it, and I've just grown with it. And I've found family and friends through theater, and I can't imagine my life without it.